Everyone got fooled by the so-called Northeast shamans, but they aren't the real deal. The Hu, Huang, Bai, and Lu families, plus the Ghost Immortal and Qingfeng, ash fairies are rare and can't compare to fox spirits. The Northeast spiritual system is actually a continuation of shamanism, a very ancient practice. In northern China, this religion is popular, especially the Northeast Xianjia, which divides into Baoxian and Chumaxian, are spirits that protect family fortunes. Usually, at home, you just set up a shrine for the spirits. Just a name is fine, but you'll need an experienced mentor to help. Possession refers to animals that possess humans to avoid lightning. Use this opportunity to encourage people to accumulate virtue, especially with snakes. Known as the Four Great Families, the Hu family is led by the famous Hu Santaiye and Hu Santainai, animal spirits taking on tasks or missions to guide and protect the world. They choose some people, so there's a new job. Although disciples can use mystical powers to change fate, it comes with risks. Fate has it that cheating and corruption are inevitable, a destiny one can't escape. A widower is a man who lost his wife, and a widow is a woman. A mother's child is an orphan. An elderly person without children is alone. Lacking money, basically. To stand out, ordinary people need luck and recognition from immortals. You need all four beams. Gentle breeze sweeps. Sky bridge. The scout mentioned these essential elements for success in traditional healing. Once everything is ready, you can start the ceremony by setting up the incense table. Welcome the 7 stars as they oversee human spiritual practices and grant permissions. Handling the celestial rites is essential in the process. After worshipping the 7 stars, the disciple is guided to the spiritual realm. All the immortals will take turns to pass the test and showcase their skills. The legendary warrior rides out with his disciples, gaining fame and recognition worldwide. I was born in a rural village in the 80s. I've faced many hardships, but my family will eventually overcome them. Faced with strange events, I became a shaman, a so-called great god. Nowadays, many shamans prefer to be called spiritual heirs rather than great deities. There aren't many great masters, but their skills are exceptional, unlike today's so-called masters. Not skilled enough to take charge, just eager to act. Back in the day, those great deities were basically our ancestors. Is it considered traditional soup if passed down to this generation? You gotta get things done, or you'll ruin your own reputation. There are 2 ways. A literary hall is like a martial hall, where the healer is almost like a normal person. Some unconscious gestures. Wu-Tang is amazing, often referred to as the Great Spirit Dance. Back then, everyone was shaking and stumbling, trying to hold it together. The old sage's skills are crucial. He alone handles the entire healing process. It's said that tying up a low-level spirit is tough, but it drains the elder spirits. After the event, the horse will be tired and unaware of the process. Even if it's a tough situation, most people rely on experience to guess. Sometimes, getting stuck is just a personal mindset, like being tied down. The error rate is low, but seeing a doctor is a hassle now. Doctors in our field often bear many karmic burdens. Taking on too much work leaves you stuck, unable to escape. Even though I've been practicing for years, I can't share everything here. Too much, and the old sage warns of heavenly punishment, as I heard before. Later, they didn't dare write. I was really sick, almost died, so I'm writing this. In slang, cigarettes are called cow huan, alcohol is hala, roast chicken is little phoenix, and eggs are round or phoenix eggs. The furnace is called a treasure cauldron or red flower bowl. Most people in this line seem frail and often sick. When I was little, I was often sick and saw a woman in red. Grandma was shocked when she heard about it later. I always wore red, so Grandpa found a local shaman. The old lady said my fate is too light to hold my soul. I often get sick and see things, but a wise elder told me I have a guardian spirit. I've got several guardian spirits, but I must face 3 challenges first. If I can't overcome these challenges, no one can help me, not even my grandparents. Some people were unhappy because back then, nobody wanted to step up. Kids face challenges, endure hardships. Many people are driven crazy, like they're losing it, because of Mrs. Wang. It's tough, so my family is always worried, keeping a close eye on me every day. I never expected Mrs. Wang's troubles. It wasn't necessarily me at 14. Dad waited all night for Mom after work. They weren't back yet, and the next time I saw them was in the hospital. After my parents passed away, I lived with my aunt and uncle. He drank a lot. He got drunk and hit my aunt. Seeing her helpless, I suddenly had an idea. I was destined for greatness. I've got several guardian spirits, but why is my life so tough? Please come and help me get revenge, even just once. So, I secretly went to see Auntie. They say only Auntie can summon spirits, like a god's assistant. To invite powerful spirits, you need a reliable aunt. My aunt laughed and said, "It's my good fortune. Only if I push through will the immortals respect me. If I don't try hard, they'll look down on me." Her words really moved me, but she meant I should endure for now. I misunderstood her. If the immortals won't help, I'll handle it myself. I hit my uncle on the back of the head, and he fell unconscious. I was terrified, thinking I'd killed someone. I was just 17 or 18. If I don't leave, my aunt will cover for me. He nervously wrote a note saying, "I'm leaving," and bought a ticket to Harbin. The train ticket arrived at Ha's restaurant, where I became a waiter. In her early 30s, Yuan is remarkably fit and kind-hearted, always treating me well. I felt relieved because doctors often dine at the restaurant next to the hospital. The person I remember most is Wu Guobin, who guards the morgue. He's a regular at the bar, usually quiet, but always drinks alone. He rarely seems fully awake here. Remember, Sister Yuan mentioned that Wu Guobing is a strange guy. Before the burial, he would visit the morgue to be with his wife. His wife can talk all night. I don't know why, but every time I see this person, I feel uneasy. Every day, it's drinking and cards. He often hits Sister Yuan, which reminded me of my aunt's situation. A year passed quietly. Then a young girl joined the shop. She's called Xiaoyun, very fair and pretty, said to be the boss's distant relative. Since then, the boss, who rarely visited, started coming by often. Yu has always been nice to me, but I suspect the boss has ulterior motives. She just ruffled my hair, saying I'm too young to worry. I sensed some helplessness, feeling uneasy, like something bad might happen soon. That year, at 18, I worked as a waiter in a small restaurant in Harbin, caught the boss with the waitress. Xiaoyun's affair pushed the usually kind Sister Yuan over the edge. The boss got punched a few times, and Xiaoyun was used as a shield. Be careful not to fall and cut your neck on broken vase pieces. The boss glanced around, whispered to Yuan Ji, and she listened. The boss was furious, realizing they wanted me to take the blame for Xiaoyun's accident. The three of us definitely share some responsibility, so the boss quietly suggested, take Xiaoyun's body to the morgue next door. We must keep this secret, even if it means risking everything. Even though I knew it was a bad idea, I agreed with the boss. I called a friend at the hospital, and soon a van arrived. The hospital guard bribed the soldier to move Xiaoyun's body. I got in the car, and after that, I have no idea. Xiaoyun's death was like a fish being killed in a restaurant, unnoticed. We cleaned up the mess thoroughly. Officially, Xiaoyun resigned, but that's not the truth. Boss's grudge? My relative paid a lot to fix this, and a month later I noticed. Something seemed off. Looking closer, a woman lay behind him, pale-faced. After Xiaoyun told Sister Yuan about this, she was shocked. If it was really Xiaoyun, then it's quite possible. We're up next. It's been over 2 months, and the boss looks worse. She always looks exhausted, like she hasn't slept in days. Even her voice sounds tired. After almost harming herself, Yuan was completely shocked and terrified. I suggested finding a shaman to check on her. They say it's a reincarnated fox spirit. After discussing, Sister Yuan and I went to the village to find Fox Mom. The hall is beautifully decorated. One room is a Buddha hall, another a dojo. The altar is piled with